Hey everybody, it's me as always, your host Gambit896, and I'm back with another review video for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing Scarlet Spider, Volume 1, Life After Death. This series is written by Christopher Yost, with this first volume being illustrated by Ryan Stegman and Neil Edwards. And as you can see from the top part of the cover, this series is published by Marvel, and this first trade collects issues 0.1 through 6 of the series. So the story starts out with our title character of Scarlet Spider, aka Kaine, busting up a human smuggling operation, as you can see there. Right from the get-go, we find out that Kaine isn't afraid to use brute force against criminals, which really ties into the tagline for this series, which is all of the power, none of the responsibility. And we find out through Kaine's inner monologue that he is a feral clone of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. As you can see, is one of the flashback sequences of a team-up between Spider-Man and Scarlet Spider, as you can see there. And here we have some flashbacks of Kaine with the Jackal, aka Miles Warren, who was the supervillain that created Kaine and all of the clones of Peter Parker back during the Ben Reilly epic, which was a major event in the Spider-Man comics during the 90s. As you can see there, more really cool flashback sequences of Kaine with the Jackal. And through Kaine's inner monologue, we find out that he's now been given a second chance, and he wants to essentially be a better man, but at the same time he's a reluctant hero, but he's also, as you find out through his inner monologue, he's deeply flawed. He has a very dark nature to him, and he has the internal struggle with his natural instincts of being a killer. There's a great comedic moment within the first issue of Kaine saving an old woman from a runaway car, as you can see here. But then Kaine, not being your typical sort of Spider-Man, says to the woman, "Are you out of your damn mind? You're too damn slow to be going out in the street," which I thought was really, really funny. And then here we see some more flashbacks of Kaine with the Jackal, as you can see there. Also, the covers in this first trade are all done by Ryan Stegman, and I have to say the covers look really, really cool, as well as Stegman's artwork. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed this book, I have to be honest. It's just really, really cool. Again, here's another example of some really cool one-page spread of the Scarlet Spider in action, as you can see there. Oops. Also, the fight scenes in this are really, really well done as well. See if I can show you a good example. Here you can see there's a lot of really cool action scenes in this as well, as you can see there and there. Here in this particular fight scene, Kaine is going up against an individual who worships a serpent of fire, and as we find out from Kaine that he can actually wield fire in the and he can turn it into snakes in particular. I have to give credit where credit is I have to give credit where it's due, particularly to the colorists and the inkers during this first story arc. We have Michael Babinski, Wayne von Grambadger, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Grawbadger, and also Ryan Stegman does some of the inks himself, actually. The colour palette is just really, they're really bright colours, and they make the artwork really kind of jump out at you and really come to life. And there's also another really cool kind of comedic scene where this guy that can throw fire that Kaine is currently fighting says, "Huh, beating Spider-Man was easy." And then Kaine just jumps up and beats the living bejesus out of the guy and says, "I am not Spider-Man." And then he finishes him off by kicking him to the cranium and knocking him out. And then, just to add insult to injury, says, "Is that clear enough for you?" Which I thought was really, really funny. Let me just turn over my notes here. We also get introduced to some of Kaine's supporting characters, which, spare with me while I find the page. Also, here's another cool example of, as I said, all the power, none of the responsibility. Here we can see Kaine is interrogating this guy in pretty much a, I guess you could say, a Batman-ish kind of fashion, as you can see there. And also there as well. Like I said, really, really cool artwork on the part of Ryan Stegman. Let's see if I can find that page with Kaine's supporting characters. Here we are. So we meet the character of we meet the characters of Annabelle Adams, who is a potential possible love interest for Kaine, and we also meet Dr. Donald Malin, who is one of Kaine's many supporters as the Scarlet Spider when Kaine initially sets up shop in Houston, Texas, in America. And we also meet another supporting character of, I'll have to forgive me because this name is Spanish and I'm not so great with names, Araceli? Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, so those are some of Kaine's supporting characters that we meet during this first volume. And also, for those of you who are familiar with my YouTube names or character's namesake of Gambit, a particular group of villains that Gambit is very familiar with, and for those of you who know the character's lore and history, show up in this first story arc to do battle with Kaine. But I'm not going to spoil it because I want you guys to pick this up for yourselves and read it. I'll also show you another example of, again, all the power, none of the responsibility, some of the action scenes in this. There's a great scene where one of the assailants that is trying to kill Kaine, as you can see there, has an affinity for guns, which Kaine just basically breaks the guy's fingers, so he can't fire his guns at him as much, as you can see there. As, like I said, all the power, none of the responsibility, and Kaine is very much the kind of the dark opposite of Peter Parker in a lot of respects. And there's also, like I said, some great inner monologue moments of Kaine. Like I said, here he's acknowledging the fact that he is a killer and he's done some very terrible things, and that all of the blood that he's caused and the blood that is on his hands won't come off. But like I said, over the course of the first 6 issues, we really see Kaine grow from being a reluctant hero and to essentially make a new life for himself and become a better person than he has been. And that's just really great to see, particularly in the moments with Kaine's inner monologue, and also the writing on the part of Chris Yost and the dialogue exchange between the characters. Here we see some of Neil Edwards' artwork, who only fills in for 1 issue during issue 5. It's not really that much of a jarring change from Stegman's art style to Edwards, but purely from a personal preference standpoint, I kind of prefer Ryan Stegman's art style. Excuse me. There's also some really cool reveals with Araceli and Kaine towards the end, and also there's a really cool fight scene at the end of the final issue of issue 6, as you can see here and here. I have to say, on the part of Ryan Stegman, he does make the fight scenes in particular look as if they're choreographed in a sense, because they are so well done, along with the artwork in general. Again, here's another really cool one-page spread of Kaine in costume, as you can see there. Yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed this. If you're a fan of Chris Yost's writing, or if you're a fan of darker superhero stories, then I definitely recommend you check this out. Now, Peter Parker fans don't hate me, but I really like the character of Kaine, particularly because he's such a deeply flawed and essentially is seeking redemption. And just like I said, there's some great inner monologue moments with Kaine, along with the dialogue exchanges between Kaine and his supporting cast of characters. Another series which is kind of similar to this in a sense is the Venom series by Rick Remender, which now Colin Bunn of the Six Gun fame is writing that series, which I do plan on picking up Colin Bunn's run eventually when the first trade paperback of that run comes out. So yeah, like I said, really solid writing on the part of Christopher Yost. So if you're a fan of his storytelling or his writing, I definitely recommend you check this series out. Really good artwork by Ryan Stegman and Neil Edwards. And yeah, really great read, highly recommended. If I had to give this volume a rating, I'd give it a solid 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it. And that about concludes this review video, guys. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. As always, feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. If you're new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. And until next time, this is Scarlet896 signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.